Good afternoon. My name is Randy Wells, and I'm going to talk about the fundamentalist modernist controversy. During the 1920s, a wave of Protestant reaction to the liberal and scientific thought that swept across America following World War I was felt by many to be the eroding factor to the very fiber of what had made America great up to that point. In fact, Barry Hankins states in The Strange Career of J. Frank Norris, or Can a Baptist Democrat be a Fundamentalist Republican, that World War I had saved America from the German military, but not from German thinking. To be sure, Protestantism was on the very decline, and there arose a group who felt it was their God-assigned duty to rectify the evils of modernism. This group were called fundamentalists, and men like J. Gresham Machen, T.T. Shields, and a Texas man by the name of J. Frank Norris took it upon themselves to fight against modernism. Regarding fundamentalist preachers during the early 20th century, probably none is more noteworthy or proved as divisive as John Franklin or J. Frank Norris. Patsy Ledbetter in Defense of the Faith, J. Frank Norris and Texas Fundamentalism, 1920 to 1929, tells how Norris was born into a poor family in Birmingham, Alabama, and was groomed to be a preacher by his faithful mother, Mary Norris. Many hours Mary spent extolling the virtues of Christian men of God as well as the fundamentals of the faith to young J. Frank, and from an early age he saw it as his destiny to become a great man of God, a great preacher. After earning degrees from Baylor University and Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, Norris assumed the mantle as fundamentalism's lead watchdog. Norris was known for his militant style and his sensationalized hijinks. He often used fear and graphic illustrations in his preaching. Ledbetter relates how he once brought a broken liquor bottle into his congregation from the pulpit, and the liquor bottle had a piece of a person's brain in it from an automobile accident, and Norris shows this to the congregation. Many of them faint, pass out, or are frightened from fear, but he got his point across. Norris traveled the world to advance fundamentalism and became quite active in politics. During the 28 presidential campaign, Norris, a Democrat, ardently campaigned for Herbert Hoover, who was a Republican. And lest one think that Norris suffered from a political identity crisis, Barry Hankins states that Norris always found reasons to support Republican presidential candidates, even though he himself professed to be a Democrat. Norris, who at one time pastored two of the largest Baptist churches in America, boasted a combined membership of 25,000 and was in and out of the news all the time. A Washington Times newspaper article dated April the 7th, 1922, referred to Norris as the Texas Tornado, implying that everywhere he went, he was sure to stir something up. Norris believed that modernism could only be staunched by employing a caustic, hardline approach. That was certainly true of Norris, and he always seemed to be embroiled in some kind of a controversy. Take, for example, an event that occurred on July the 17th, 1926, when a Fort Worth lumberman named Elliot Chips confronted Norris in his church study over Norris's accusations of the Fort Worth mayor. Norris pulled a revolver from his desk and shot the unarmed man 3 times, killing him. Norris went to trial, and according to an article in the New York Times dated October the 31st, 1926, he was acquitted. Even though the state demanded the death penalty and he had shot an unarmed man, the judge advised the jury to return a non-guilty verdict. This event jettisoned Norris to even greater popularity amongst fundamentalists, not only in Texas but across America. And as the Roaring '20s gave way to the turbulent '30s, Norris shifted his attack from evolutionary teachings in public schools to other issues like Roosevelt's New Deal and blasting communism. If one were to look up in the dictionary the term fighting fundamentalist, you'd probably see a picture of J. Frank Norris. Thank you.